Hey, how's it going, brother?
Sorry, I left the other day. I had to go help my mom. She fell.
Oh, is she
Oh,
okay?
yeah, she's fine. She just bruised a rib.
Something's
I'm
going
just happy
on
she's okay.
here with my. Oh,
Sorry if I'm a little sleepy. I've been up all day watching the stock market with a bunch of friends.
okay. Watching the shit show.
Well, I'm barely a day trader now because I just made $80.
I
I'm
made 80
hoping
bucks.
Dogecoin keeps going.
Dude, that's a fancy steak dinner right there.
No, that's more money to invest. What are you talking about?
Yeah, more money to invest until the big one doesn't work out.
I don't know. The guys I'm watching, I mean, I'm an idiot, but they seem to know what they're talking about. The guys I'm with. So they're explaining how to predict when something's
Right?
gonna rise and when it's gonna dip and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
When to, you know, pull the money out
Just
and
yeah,
then put it right back in when it's low
I would
and make
just do a
money.
I would just do a lot of cross-referencing because there are a lot of people out there proclaiming to know what to do with your
Oh, don't
money.
worry. They keep telling them, don't take them seriously. We're retards. Don't trust those. This is just their opinions.
Yeah, and look, the good salesman will go that route too. They'll be like, "Now, I'm not even selling you anything. I'm not doing anything, but this is what I would do."
I know.
But
I know
but
they're
it's
doing it
still,
to protect themselves. I'm not stupid.
but it's not just to protect themselves. It's a good salesman tactic to actually sell what you're selling. Is what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Yeah.
Well, they're only giving it away for free.
Zombie, zombie, zombie. Eh, eh.
Please don't make up a song with my name. That's so bad.
That's Zombie by the Cranberries.
Oh my god.
You need to hear that song.
I probably heard it before.
You must.
So
have.
how's Jesse?
Sorry,
How's Jesse?
Jesse Lee.
Yeah.
Oh, he'll be here at 5 p.m. So in a few hours here.
All right.
It's currently 2 p.m. Pacific. But yeah, Zombie, what are we talking about today?
You know, I kind of racked my brain and I was just thinking of like the evolution of like women's sexuality or female sexuality really, and how that interplays with just I think a lot of stuff that's going on currently especially in America.
Yep.
And I just wanted to kind of, talk a little bit about that. And I think that, we're looking at a time where men tend to be shamed right now in our political culture. And I wasn't actually going to talk about that, but I just think that I just wanted to kind of get some of just some general dudes' opinions on that, and how sexuality and our gender roles and our history have all kind of changed over time, how that impacts our sexuality really.
Right. So would you say there are? Oh, why isn't this working? Oh, weird. Sorry, I'm trying to get chess running here. You mentioned that there's kind of like you would say, social pressure on. I think you said political pressure, but let's say social or political pressure on males sexually. What do you think? Like, what would you attribute that to? And
Well,
what do you think
I
those
mean,
pressures are?
I think, well, what right now, kind of, what I'm hearing in kind of, from individuals who feel really disgruntled and coming back to like core family values, and I hear kind of this talk about how there's like a whole segment of men who think, that women belong at home, and that's the core reason why the we're kind of like in this weird upheaval right now. And I don't know, I feel like that over time we have subtly changed, and we've had some major changes, obviously, like when women get voting rights and things like that. But like um our sexuality and like our gender differences, I think, have really influenced just systems and our overall culture over time. And I wish, I mean, I wish that I had like just jotted things down like over my life and asked other women, how they perceive their sexuality has changed. Have they been more liberated? Have, over a course of time? Because I really think that that has a lot to do with this culture of individuals who are very angry.
Yeah.
Um, and and so this knee jerk reaction of like, women need to do this and men need to do this, and if we go back to that, the world will be a happy place again,
Right.
is like, to me, a a a pipe dream. Because it's not going to go back, and we need to figure out how we move forward so that all people, I don't care, you know, what gender they are, who they identify as,
Yeah.
so that all people feel healthy in their sexuality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know.
Sounds like a good quest.
The problem
Call,
I'm
call,
seeing.
call me
is-
retarded. Who knows?
The problem I see is we got a lot of people trying to, like you said, there's going to be people saying like we should go back to the way they are, and I'm like, if we do that, we're going to have a repeat of what happened in the 70s. And the reason why we're going to have that repeat is that you're going to have women that aren't like the typical woman. They're go-getters. They want to do things. They might not be compatible with motherhood. I've seen women that are like this who are like, we're huge go-getters. I think she was an archaeologist and she was so ready to have kids and everything. And the minute she had her child and she got the kid in her hand, she dreaded having the kid. She's like, oh no, what did I do to my life? And while she loved the kid and loved raising the kid, she hated motherhood. And
Wow.
the problem here, and there are women that are like that, but the problem is these women aren't the average. They're in a minority. But if the minority is like 10, 20% out of 300 million people, that's still a lot of people. And when those people are going to get oppressed, they're going to start the movements that say, well, no, we need to get rid of, women staying at home. And the problem is, while most women probably might feel comfortable being housewives, it's not everyone. And the problem is that instead of telling women should be CEOs or women should do this, women should just do what they want to do. That's what we should be telling them. And
yeah,
if that means women, most of them end up staying home, that's it. You can't help it. You can't force it.
I have a problem with men that go, you think that you can do it all, that you can have a family and have a successful career, but you can't.
No.
And I look at him and I'm like, okay, pot calling kettle black. You're not too successful in your endeavors. I happen to make a damn good living, and I have 3 really well-rounded adult children and a damn good career. So, I think that, yeah, there's things that I probably missed out on, and we're kind of moving in a different direction than I wanted to, because I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, but you're fine, aren't you? You're happy with what you have.
Oh yeah, but I agree with you in, we need to allow our children, I don't care if they're boys or girls,
exactly,
to
do what you want,
to explore and see what they're good at and what they enjoy, so that they can, if they want to have a career, if that's what they aspire to do, like, they've got to make some kind of a living to feed themselves at some point. It's not like we have arranged marriages and people are going to,
Yeah.
pair up when they're 12 years old. This is not a normalized thing here in the continental US, I would imagine. Well, at least in America and Canada. Is it in Canada?
Sorry, what aspect?
For like arranged marriages?
Yeah, it's not really a thing in Canada. Like, you will find some, like, maybe really orthodox people who celebrate Hindu culture. You might have like within the Indian community, you might have some of that. And in some of the traditional Asian communities as well, I would say.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a minimum number of people, and I think overwhelmingly we need to make sure that our young people understand that they may have to be self-sufficient for a period of time, and they may have to do. And I am not a big advocate on everyone needs to go to college. Like, I really do believe that the majority of learning happens with hands-on experience, and I do think that we need people in the trades and actually doing work, and we can't all be computer programmers, and we can't all be knit or crochet a bodysuit for you, Pangburn, but but that we have to have diversity and try to find things that our children are good at. And but I'm sorry, I'm like going off on a tangent here.
No, you're fine. I do that too. The thing is, we have to understand that if we let people do what we want, and it ends up averaging, like I said earlier, like most women stay home, most men do this, most women do that. We have to be fine with that, and we can't just assume something is wrong. Not that that doesn't mean there isn't, but the problem is some people will assume something's wrong and then find stuff that isn't there. I think
what you're talking about,
or they ignore something that's wrong, and they need to be very skeptical.
I think what you're talking about, Metal, is like sometimes parents will be like to their kid, well, you don't have to like G.I. Joes. You can like Barbies if you want, or you can like these other things if you want. And then the kid might be like, no, I just want G.I. Joes and boy stuff. And then some parents might think they have like kind of a closed-minded kid or something. Is that what you're kind of getting at?
Some people will, some people do something like that. They think their boy just they're not happy that their boy is acting like a boy or their girl's acting like a girl.
Yeah. There is a bit of that, definitely.
I remember I saw one woman, the boy dressed up as a woman once. He's a very small kid, like a 2-year-old, 3 or 2. And, Dad didn't think much of it. And she freaked out and probably thought he was transgender and wanted to go the whole, kit caboodle on, getting him cutie lockers and shit when he was like a couple years older. And Dad's like, no. And they kept asking him, like, do you want to be a woman? And the boy kept saying, no, I want to be a boy. And the mom's like, oh, he's just being coerced into that and shit. And then she takes the kid away from the dad, divorces the dad, and takes the kid away. I'm like, what the hell is going on? It's a kid. He doesn't know. Oh, God.
Yeah, it's funny you bring up underwear because I was jokingly going to I told Pangburn that my chat today was going to be on how I don't want men in my life to wear my underwear.
Fair enough.
I love underwear.
I love underwear.
You're not wearing mine. You're not getting my silkies, and you're not.
No, I just love mine.
Your silkies.
That's funny.
That's
a
name for him.
Well, let me ask you this: what are your thoughts on the whole good girl versus bad girl dichotomy, and just like looking at roles and relationships?
I mean, doms want good girls. They don't want bad girls. Doms want, and I'm just speaking generally, doms want good girls who you kind of
They want obedient girls.
They want obedient girls, but they want girls that can. Doms want good girls who can turn into bad girls and be a bad girl. Does that make sense?
They want to switch. That's what they want.
Well, they don't want a dominant woman, like a true dom, like whether they're a man or woman. If there's any element of dom in their partner, I think they're out.
Well, actually, I bet to differ because I'm a dom as well. Or I'm not dumb, but I'm a dom, whatever that means, dominating or dominator or whatever. No, it depends really. I think so for example, I do like, so in a relationship, right? You're always going to have a dominator and a subjugatee. If that's so you're going to have someone who dominates and someone who's subjugated, regardless of the intensity. Now, where that can be all right is where you have the presence of mutual respect, which is where I come in. So I don't dominate. I'm much more for mutual respect, but I still like to sort of call the shots, if you may.
Are you?
So,
but are we still talking about sex
like
here?
Much of a dom then.
We're talking about sex.
Yeah, because we're just talking about sex, and I would say you don't sound like a dom. You sound like a switch.
Yeah, I was about to say switch. I was about to say switch.
What was that? I sound like a what?
I said you sound like a not a dom, but a switch.
Oh, that's what you said, bitch.
No, I said switch.
Switch
a switch
goes
is someone who can switch.
I'm just trying to figure out who wants to be a dom.
What's this? Just quickly, what's this switch?
A switch is someone
switch
who
is someone
like
that goes back and forth between being submissive and dominant, but at kind of like a mutual agreement and feeling in the moment.
Yeah, and I really don't think it actually is even in the language of a true dom.
I suppose. Well, then, what you mean by true dom, then I suppose and it's much more tyrannical. It's no longer dominating, right? Do you know what I mean?
No, not at all. Like not to a true sub. A true sub wants in a perfect world. A true sub wants a true dom. Like literally, when it comes to their sexuality, they need to be dominated in a convincing way.
Yeah, and that's true. But are we talking about sex? Or are we talking about
We're talking about sex.
We're all over the place.
I think we're really I'm talking about something entirely.
But sorry, Friday. Yeah, I think that's why I brought that up because I thought that you were talking more about like relationship dynamic, as opposed to sex.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I was gonna kind of lead into this stereotype of what people think is a bad girl versus a good girl, and actually kind of addressing some inequities with women of color being kind of categorized as bad girl and sometimes more objectified and oversexed and etc. than white women. And I don't know why I'm getting so racial and gender divided today, but it's just things that I wanted to chat about.
Yeah,
I've never even heard of that stereotype.
Well, that's good.
The stereotype. Sorry, I'm sorry. Can you outline like the specific stereotype again? Like guys wanting.
No,
like guys should be doms.
I think. Well, no, I wasn't even talking about doms and subs and stuff. I was more just kind of talking about women in general and how it appears that women of color tend to have some inequities with being depicted as like oversexed and objectified, and I kind of plagued with some negative type stereotypes and sexual tones, I guess. Right. I don't know. The only thing I keep going back in my mind that I go back to is like also with men, like the whole BBC thing, and that's not British broadcasting.
I know what that means.
I'm black, so I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like I don't like that fucking term at all. Like,
what, BBC?
Yeah.
Why not?
What about BBW?
Yeah, I don't like that either. Like, yeah,
I like
like
big, beautiful women.
I've had a lot of black guys that kind of play up on me and like, hey, you're gonna want this BBC, and I'm like, dude, your big black dick is not a novelty to me because my ex was black and I don't really give a fuck. I like big dick, but don't come up on me saying big black cock. Like that to me is like racial.
So the color, so obviously zombie.
I suppose it's because black people, which are I mean, I'm African, so Africans do have big dicks. If like it is what it is, right? So I suppose that's
a general rule, though, man. It's not a genetic.
No, I've had white dudes with just as big a dicks. Like I'm sorry. Like,
well, I bet to differ in the dressing rooms when I play football. So, but yeah.
Oh my!
Sure, that's not your ego.
Are you sure you weren't just hard?
Yeah.
I'm not just speaking exclusively. I'm not just speaking for myself. I'm actually speaking for well, not everyone, but we're just gonna end it there anyways. But yeah.
No, there is a genetic difference on the general mean across the world for sure. But I think some people confuse that to mean like, if I could just find a black guy, I'm gonna have a nice big penis. It's like you might want to investigate the penis size first.
There was an Asian girl I was with back in
for me. It goes even further because like what irritates me is there are women out there that think that they need to if they're going to have sex with a black dude, then it needs to be closeted and secretive and taboo. Yeah, that's what that whole BBC comes
really
from. Yes.
Oh, I've never heard of that stereotype.
No, listen. If you were a person that didn't really give a shit what color you were and really enjoyed your company and liked your dick, didn't care what color it was, why would the whole BBC thing be an issue? Because they would take you home to their parents and have dinner with you and everything else. And
I just thought it was a joke.
No, it's not a joke. Like, I really think that it has like a lot of racial tones to it that I don't like. The fact that I have two black sons or biracial sons and one biracial daughter, like that shit is ugly to me. So I don't want some bitch to like my kid because he only has a black dick.
So zombie, what do you think of what do you think of like if someone's like, I would never fuck a white dude?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Do you think
I don't agree with that either. Like I think that that's totally racial, but that's that's their choice. I just don't like how it's kind of like
I think it depends on taste.
So mainstream.
Because if you just don't find a certain skin color appealing, and it's not because you just think less of the race, you just don't find it appealing.
I think people get that confused. It's much more of a fetish. Like it's like the thing with Asian girls, right? I mean, well, maybe it's just me, but
yeah, especially.
I think it's a fetish, really.
Yeah, you guys.
You've got when you go to Tanzania, right? The Maasais, they're really tall, and the BBC thingy, and you've got like women from Europe go to the beaches, and you've got these Maasais just sort of traversing the beaches looking for European women to have sex with, and and they come for that, right? So it's like a fetish, if you may, because of whatever's going on with their dicks,
right?
So
I get that, and that's something that, in my opinion, I think is, I would go up to each one of those European women and say, "You're a fucking racist slut." I seriously would.
What's racist about it?
I don't think it's racist. I just think it's a preference.
Like I said earlier,
it's totally racist.
You guys,
is it because of the race, or because they just like black men?
So, yeah, but you guys. So I think both sides are right.
Getting my point.
I think
I think I know what you're saying.
You take the race out of it. If you
honestly,
took the race out of it, would they consider taking that person home?
Let me explain why that's
attractive.
not racist.
As long as they still have
if having a racial preference in your sexuality is racist, then that's the equivalent of saying to a straight person that they're homophobic because they're only attracted to other straight people.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that advertising like BBC is racist. Like, don't come at me with I've got a BBC. That's why you should come hook up
Oh,
with me.
right. Okay. Yeah, I can understand that argument, but going
Okay.
up to women on the beaches who just are more attracted to black men and looking for a black man, that's
Yeah,
not racist.
that, you know what? That would be perfectly
That's just
fine
their sexuality.
if that was something that they would, if that person is someone that they would consider taking home to mom and dad.
And
Yeah.
like yeah.
If they're not, then they're racist.
Well, yeah, if
Wait,
they
what?
think less of them,
Well, I don't think they're racist. I think it's
they
like
have
it's
to.
it's almost
they
like
either
it's
think
almost
they're
like it's
superior
almost
or
like
less.
claiming I'm racist because I've got a fetish for Asians, right? It's almost like
Right.
saying that. So
And
like,
would you take,
I mean,
if you ended up loving that person, would you take them home?
oh yeah, 100%. Why
Well,
not?
then,
Like,
Yeah.
I'm not.
then that's totally fine.
But do
That's
you like
just
them
your
because they're
attraction.
Asian, or you like them
I
because
don't-
how they look?
That's your attraction.
I mean,
don't
think
since
a
racist-
Asians look, it's
A
very
real-
difficult because. All right, you go on, Mace.
A real racist wouldn't be sexually attracted to the
Attracted,
race
yeah.
that they hate or fear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I think they would. They would
No,
be in denial.
no, I
about
don't
it.
think that. I don't think that at all. It's not. It doesn't have to be sexual attraction. It could be power and control. Because especially with selling sex and individuals who are purchasing sex, they're purchasing a commodity. So if they want to purchase sex from someone that looks different than them, then to them it's just it's a purchase. It's a transaction. It has nothing. It has nothing
that's
to do with like a
interesting.
relationship.
I
So
mean, it's
that's
okay
not
to
to
want
me
sex,
like
but-
sex. That's control.
It's okay to want sex but not have a relationship, though.
Okay, yeah. So here's the thing. I think it depends on if if a racist person like sees a person in the street that's of a race that they don't like, and then they rape that person, and they think, yeah, it doesn't matter because they're X race. I don't care. They're not
that's
like they're subhuman compared to me. That I'd say that person's not really attracted to them. They're kind of just it's kind of like you see a penny on the floor, you pick it up, you
Yeah.
don't care, it's only a penny. You're not going out looking for pennies. It's not like you have a interest in that. It's just better than nothing sort of thing.
I'm just saying, if you see a black woman and your thing is flaccid because you don't like black people, or it's up there because, or it's up and you're just like trying to deny it, you can't. You have only so much control over that,
How do you deny that? You just look down and you say, "I
Well,
deny you."
Why do you think some people?
Well, wait a
why-
minute. Does this mean that every time you see someone you're attracted to, you like get a rager?
I think
Like-
actually, zombie. That is a problem for some men. That is.
Yeah.
That does
Yeah.
exist. But some men can't look at anything shiny without getting a rager. There's some strange things out there, or like a fluffy surface. Like seriously, there are some strange.
Yeah,
how did he take
I
that?
really struggle
Oh.
sitting on a public bus because the buses are so poorly built. They vibrate like hell in this country. I'm sitting there just vibrating, and I'm like, oh god.
Well, I'm like saying, like, if a person's like seeing like talking about like gay men in denial, like I can't be gay because God tells me not to, so I must resist. Nonsense like that, people are going to do that.
Oh yeah, did you hear Richard talking about that the other day?
Yeah.
Who was that? Richard?
Was it Richard? I can't remember.
Oh.
Someone else in this
Yeah.
Discord was saying that they're gay, but they're also a Christian, so they have to
Yeah.
resist their
So he's
urges.
resisting it, yeah.
I see.
But the other guy came in and said, like, as soon as you find someone you fall in love with, that's going to go away.
I don't know about
I mean, even he
I'm-
agreed that might happen.
that. In theory, yes, but I mean, some gay people go like they end up getting married to a woman, and then they're in like their 50s or 60s before
I
they finally
know.
give up on it. Like it can really destroy your life.
Yeah. Ugh. People just complicate things for no reason. No.
The room got awfully quiet.
Yeah, I know.
I know. I was
Everyone's
sending a
afraid.
message to someone.
Yeah, no worries.
Well, yeah, like this. I'm
just
gonna
watching the
crumple up my
Dogecoin
piece of
ticker. I
paper
want to make
because
money.
this conversation went a totally different direction than I thought it was going to.
I'm just distracted because I'm trying to make money. I'm just hoping Dogecoin skyrockets again.
Dogecoin. Is that a cryptocurrency?
Yep. And
All coins, I think.
I got it at 2 cents, and now it's at 5. So
Wow. How are you going to turn it back into real money?
I'm on the Robinhood app right now. I can just sell them right now. I'm waiting for them to spike again though, because they were at 8 cents at one point. So
Bitcoin's the bad boy, though.
oh yeah, if I could buy it, if I had spare 30 grand, I would love to buy Bitcoin. But right now,
You don't have to
I
buy
got
the whole thing.
pennies.
You
can
can
buy,
buy
like, fractions.
You can buy really
Yeah.
small fractions.
Fractions.
I could do that. I could
Or you could just invest in a company that mines Bitcoin, which is what I'm doing. And
that sounds
yeah.
like a good idea. I'm new to the stock shit, so I saw the shit with GameStop happen. I'm like, I ain't missing this goddamn train.
Yeah, there's a lot of, I was watching, what's his name? Chamath Palihapitiya, I think that's how you pronounce his name.
Oh yeah, that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah, he was an
I'm
interview with an interview with some CNBC reporter, and they were just talking about retail investors, and essentially what I sensed from the interview was possible regulation, on retail investors. But yeah, ought to be interesting in the US.
The thing that kicks me is I knew about Wall Street Bets since September, and was like considering like getting in on it, but I watched like the only reason why I knew about Wall Street Bets is because I found these videos on YouTube about them, and it's all these retarded stories of these guys making shit ton of money and then acting like morons and YOLOing it away and then losing it all. So I regret like not getting in on that, because if I did, I would have gotten GameStop at $4. I would have $300 fucking right now. Oh, feels bad, man.
2, 8, 1.
I invested in Amazon shares 3 years ago, and
Whoa.
Wow.
I bought it for about $900, and they're worth about $3,000 now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
It's insane.
Don't touch him, man. Leave him.
Oh yeah, definitely. They're gonna go up a lot more when Amazon starts delivering by drone.
Yeah, they're going to go up a lot more, and they're also that business is going to be one that you can count on continuing to grow.
Well, like I said earlier, I don't know if you guys are here for it, but the guys I was with, if you watch the charts carefully, you can kind of map out when it's going to dip and watch when everyone's selling at volume, and you could get in on that. You can buy low or sell high and then buy back in and then make a profit and still have your Amazon investment. You just made a little extra cash while waiting for it.
You'd have to be trading in huge amounts of stocks for that to work, though, because
Yeah.
you've got to pay broker fees.
Well, no, you could just go on Robinhood and do it.
Yeah,
What-
zero
what
commission.
is Rob-
Or
Yeah.
Rob Simple in Canada.
How does Robinhood make their money?
They give their information to they work out deals with hedge fund managers. That's why I got pissed when Robinhood decided, yesterday they decided, you can't buy GameStop stock now. It's too volatile. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
It hit 130 and I could have got it. I had enough for it and I could not buy it. and all my money was in Robinhood. I was going to go to Weevil, but then I realized I only have $200.
GameStop, as much as it looks delicious, it's highly speculative, I think.
I tried GameStop. I lost money on that.
Yeah.
You gotta be careful.
It has no fundamentals.
No, it's volatile as fuck.
Yeah, it is. But it's great though. If you got in at $4, man, thumbs up. Fucking hell. Jesus. You know. Yeah.
I'm just glad everyone's fuck you to Wall Street.
Wolves.
I want the whole country to like unite on this. Fuck Wall Street. Oh shit.
Do you have any more questions for the room, Zombie?
I have no energy because I'm on like day 26 of fasting, of intermittent fasting. So I'm hungry right now.
What do you think about Jesse Lee Peterson, Zombie?
Oh yeah. By the way, quick announcement. Jesse will be here at, well, I guess we're 2.5 hours, so 5 p.m. Pacific time. And open up for any questions, and you'll have some time for a little back and forth banter as well. So
I think I listened to him last time when you guys were on, or went and listened to the recording. He's an interesting egg.
You think he's a misogynist?
Yeah.
Mm.
From what I listened to. I only listened to about 15 minutes of it and I was done.
Yeah, he seems to have a very low opinion of women, which is sad.
Well, I think he's just being true to what the Bible tells him about women.
I'm not really sure how much of what he says is his own opinion and how much of it was taught to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was one thing I posted recently. I think it's in the meme channel here. It's a good Bible quote to basically exactly what we're talking about. I do not permit a woman to teach or to have authority over a man. She must be silent. Timothy 2:12. Check out the meme section. It's a funny one because the first guy posts, believing in the Bible makes you a Christian, but reading and understanding the Bible from first to last page makes you an atheist. And then this girl named Sophia Lorenz Poblete or something says strongly disagree, and then this Jamie guy comes in with Sophie Lawrence Poblete. I do not permit a woman to teach or to have the authority over a man. She must be silent. Please be silent, Sophie.
You got to be relatively careful with those. I'm pretty sure that one's only with regards to who can hold a leadership position in the church.
Yes,
it's not the general.
Yeah, but you know it. A leadership position, whatever you take that to mean, or and I think there is talk about women in a position to speak or speak their mind. There's something in there as well around that.
It is specifically with regard to church construction, though. So the idea is that when you're constructing the leadership body of a church,
sure,
it's that a woman isn't to be on the pulpit, essentially. That a woman can't hold a position of authority over men in the church.
Yeah, unless you're some asshole Christian that just pulls this out of the Bible and shoves it in your wife's face to justify terrible acts towards her.
Whoa. You can't speak
unless that. Yeah.
Travis, what is your history with the church?
None, actually. I mean, just grew up reading the stories. My dad was raised Christian, but never adopted any of the his parents were Christian, but never really adopted anything from that, and was pretty rebellious. And growing up, my dad would talk about what he learned about religion. We would have discussions and stuff about it. But But yeah, that's pretty much it. But my grandparents are still Christians on his side. But as far as like pure Catholicism, not too much experience. But I find all the mythology very interesting. It seems like with Catholics, you get the more like angels, hellfire, more of the I think the more entertainment driven version of the doctrine.
Why did you grow up reading the stories? A lot of Christians don't even grow up reading the stories.
I don't know. I grew up reading a lot of stuff, anything I could get my hands on. But that happened to be one of the books that I'd heard a lot about, and I became interested in the idea of gods at a very young age. Like I would play games with mythology in it, with the Greek gods and all different kinds of gods, and I just became fascinated with beings with superpowers, and then I started hearing adults talking about like that they actually believe these things are real, and I'm like, holy crap, can you imagine if these things were real? And then I started looking at it, and I'm like, why do you think it's real? And then I heard about what faith was, and then I was just like, oh, this is very strange. Does anyone else think this is strange? And most people are like, yeah, it's just like something people say and do. Like at a funeral, they'll say, like George Carlin says, I think they're up there looking down on us right now. And I'd be like, what? It just, that stuff never made sense to me.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yup.
For me, I kind of bought into it, but it was weird. It was just a moment in high school when I was talking to I think he was a Mormon, and when he basically said, love, you're supposed to love God more than anyone, even your family. I'm like, well, or no, love God. No, you cherish God over science. And I'm like, I thought the whole point of science was to explain everything God made. What's this horse shit?
Yeah.
It really got me really mad.
Love this being that you're not given any actual evidence of its existence. But just love this over your mother, your brothers, your sisters, your aunts, your neighbor. It's just fundamentally flawed, I think.
I think that you'll disagree with this greatly, but I agree very strongly with Romans 1 that the invisible attributes of God are clearly visible in nature, and like the awe and majesty of the natural world speaks to a creator.
So this idea of majesty of the natural world is actually it's a subjective artistic idea, and a lot of people do find majesty and awe when looking up at the stars, but it's not for everyone.
You describe it as a subjective artistic view of the world, but I don't think
the
there's
way
a person
people
in this chat will deny the value of subjective art and the way you can stare at art and it'll move you. There's something true there.
Well, it's true that it's art, and I'm not saying it's that experience isn't true. That's not what I'm saying. It's there's just a difference between making statements of like the awe and beauty of the cosmos. Not everyone has awe when looking out into the cosmos or in nature, and not everyone sees beauty.
Yeah, I don't.
The interpretation is subjective.
All I can go on is my own perception of reality and the perception of the majority of people I interact with. Like, sure, there might be a one-off person that doesn't have I'm sorry, I'm on my other phone. I'm waiting for the DMV. I've been on hold for 40 minutes. Yeah, there might be a one-off person that doesn't look at the stars and feel something, or look at a sunset or look at a mountain range, or look at the clouds moving across the Great Plains. I think that's rare, and I have to go by the mean. And I think it's common to the heart of man to be overwhelmed or be caught up by the beauty of nature.
I'm just curious. I mean, it is true. Yeah, you said it's true. It's true that people are inspired by nature.
Yeah.
I'm wondering why. What makes you think that why they're inspired by nature is less clear? I mean, what makes you think inspiration that begets from viewing a cloud or some stars necessarily comes from a god? I mean, I feel like if there was no God and I looked at the stars, I would still be in awe. So I'm not sure how that can point either direction.
Yeah, most of us don't care not about any kind of what anyone else wants to attribute to any god.
I don't think that's true. Most of us care not. I don't think that's true. But I think that it inspires a sense of awe and a smallness in something greater, and that is an allusion to transcendence outside of this realm, and to a creator that controls this side and that side of things.
But we are small. Like, in a very literal sense, we're very small. So we should feel small. I'm not clear as to, I mean, you can say that the feeling of awe lends credence to the idea of creator, but it's not clear that that's the case or why that would be the case. I feel like you're just saying it.
We can say it, but if it's a common expression or a common connotation in the heart of man, then there's something to be dealt with there. I think that the awe felt in the heart of man by the existence of the power of nature is something that rings true. I would say in all men. Some people will deny that, but in most men, definitely, we couldn't deny that. And I think that is. Oh, I got my DMV. Sorry.
No worries. Yeah, I didn't hear any.
I was going to say, I don't know why the property being common or very common does anything more for the proposition. I mean, it's very common. It's common in all men's heart to fear the night and the dark, probably because we were hunted in prehistoric times by felines. And there are lots of reasons we can have common subjective experiences that aren't necessarily. I just want to know why he thinks that's attributable to a god. It might be the case that it's attributable to a god.
I think he's going by the notion popularity, hence truth, I suppose.
Yeah, I know.
This is the thing that I see people doing with frustratingly, even at the academic level. Maybe I'm just an idiot, but I've seen people claim that there's a basal experience of objective morality, let's say. There's you immediately experience objective morality.
Tell that to the tribes that are just, they haven't gotten the moral sense to stop having sex with children. Like, it's
could
just
you
part
say
of
that again?
Practice.
What was the problem with the proposition? You see, I didn't really get that. Could you say that again, please?
Yeah. So I've heard even popular atheists say that they have an immediate experience of objective morality. There's a seeming, in other words, that it seems like morality is objective.
Yeah.
You have a very strong feeling that it's the case. And I feel like that's a mistake.
It is.
I feel like you need to parse what I usually refer to it as an affinity aversion complex, as in you see certain behaviors and you feel really good about those behaviors.